College Corner today, getting to you my favorite college basketball plays for Thursday in the conference tournaments. Tons of action going on throughout the entire day. Moving forward here, we're going to get these to you in the morning, today and tomorrow, just with all the games kind of being finalized late at night. Some of the lines don't come out until late the night before. So I've got a player prop and then a couple of sides for you guys. If you enjoy the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We have tons of coming for you in preparation for March Madness. So if you're new to college basketball or if you've been with us all season, be ready for that. Let's jump into my favorite plays for Thursday. All right, first up, this is a little bit of a bonus play for you guys. I'm going to a player prop here. This game is at 3 o'clock. It's Arizona and USC. Today's video is brought to you by props.cash. I'm going to be showing the data from them. They're a player prop tool that helps you in a big way when it comes to looking at stats, numbers, trends when it comes to player props. In college basketball, the NBA, they do every single sport, but a huge help for me when it comes to, looking at player prop lines. Is this a realistic number for a guy to hit? How often is he going over? How often is he going under? Where is he taking his shots from? What does the opponent look like? They have all of that. If you use promo code OwnersBox, you're going to get 25% off your first month. It'll be just $15. Well worth it. Our first player prop, though, mentioned the USC and Arizona game. I'm going to Caleb Love over 2.5 threes. He's over this number in 7 of his last 10 games, but did go under with 0 most recently against USC. Love is the deciding factor for this Arizona team in this matchup because USC has a very strong interior defense to match up with the offense as they attack the interior. But what you're looking for in this game is USC is going to give up a ton of three-point attempts. And Love had 5 threes. You can see it here in the game against USC earlier in the year that they won by 15 points. But in the game they lost, he was just 1 of 10 from the field and did not make a single three. Volume should be good here. He's taking over 8 three-point attempts per game in his last 10, so the volume is high, and USC will cede to that volume. They give up a lot of three-point attempts and struggle defending it. They're three-point defense is 324th in the country. Over 36, almost 37% their opponents are shooting. So Love is going to be crucial for keeping Arizona's Pac-12 tournament hopes alive and as well keeping their chances of getting a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament because right now they need to win this tournament just to have a chance to do that. I'm very excited for this game. Should be super competitive, and I think Love is the deciding factor. I expect him to go over this number. Even if he does go over this number, there's a chance USC can still win this game, but going to need Love here, and I think you're going to see him take the 8-9 threes in this game and this time bounce back in this one. Next, we go to another massive game, this time in the Big Ten between Ohio State and Iowa. This is a true survive and advance game for both of these teams that are on the bubble in the NCAA tournament and need more than just one win here to get themselves off the bubble. Probably need to at least get to the Big Ten championship game. The other, their season is surely over. Now, these two teams have played once this season. And in that game, you look at this matchup, Iowa won by 2 at home and shot 59% from 2. I'm going with Ohio State on the money line here because I think that is something you don't see them replicate in this game. Ohio State is a very good interior defense by the numbers throughout the season. They're actually a top 35 in the country. Again, I mentioned Iowa shot 59% from 2. Typically, Ohio State opponents are shooting 46% from 2. So that's a stark difference that I don't think is as easy for Iowa to replicate here on a neutral court in the Big Ten tournament. And now you look at also the matchup here between these two teams. They're both very hot. Both teams are playing very well right now. But Iowa's a team that has struggled rebounding-wise. 253rd in defensive rebounding, 220th in offensive rebounding. So Ohio State will have an edge here. Iowa, I mentioned, the 2-point scoring and how efficient they were. Offensively, they do not take much of any threes. They're bottom 20 in the country in three-point rate. They want to attack the inside, and that's very tough to do against this Ohio State team efficiently, like they did in that previous matchup. I don't think they do it here. Now, the Hawkeyes' defense is one that has struggled defending from the field. The rebounding is a problem, but they're 254th in opponent effective field goal percentage. And this Ohio State team can kind of score from everywhere. There's not something in particular they do at the super high level. So they'll be able to score from 2, score from 3. They've got a plethora of scoring here. Ohio State comes in winning 4 straight, 5 of their last 6, including a win over Purdue as well. I think this team is playing the great basketball at the perfect time. Both teams are, but I think Ohio State in this matchup, in the rematch, I like them here, so I'm willing willing to take them at a short price and get them on the money line. Next, we go to my favorite system in college basketball. I've told you guys about this throughout the season, but I was tracking it to see how it's done throughout the year. It is 40-19, 67 or 68% on the season win rate for me. I've been betting this for 2 units for like the last month and a half or so. What I do is I look for a team that's top 50 in average offensive possession length against a team that's outside the top 300. So we're looking at fast-paced team against a slow-paced team. I like to take the over, and that's what I'm doing here in the matchup between Tulane and North Texas. I like the over at 141. Tulane, super fast, 17th in the country in offensive possession length. North Texas, one of the slowest, bottom 2-3 in the country, 362nd in offensive possession length. So North Texas is a team, plays very slow, has an excellent defense. No way around that. These two teams soared over this number in their most recent matchup, but Tulane is a team that's really efficient offensively as well, but they also get to the free throw line at a really high rate, the third highest rate in the country, and North Texas is 324th in opponent's free throw rate. So Tulane's going to get there and get those easy points to keep those possessions efficient. North Texas is going to let them get there at a really high rate, so expect Tulane to live at the line in this game. And from the other side of things, you're looking at North Texas being a team that puts up a lot of threes and shoot very efficiently. They're a top 20 team in three-point percentage this season, shooting almost 38%, 37.4% on the season, so very, very good. And Tulane's opponents take a lot of threes. 42% of their shots are from three. That's 319th in the country. So North Texas wants to take those threes. They make them at a high rate, and Tulane gives them those open looks to be able to do just that. So look for North Texas to have an efficient game shooting-wise. And then for both of these teams, very suspect on the defensive rebounding side, especially for Tulane. They're 325th in defensive rebounding, just across the board, not a good rebounding team. North Texas is already a strong offensive rebounding team, so any of these missed shots from the perimeter can be scooped up and grab those offensive rebounds for those putback opportunities. Expect them to do that in this game. So I like both offenses here. I think this game soars over the number at 141. And finally, late night here, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, New Mexico and Boise State. This is a massive, massive game in the Mountain West Conference tournament, my favorite tournament of the week. I like New Mexico on the money line. If you guys have been watching the show for the duration of the season, you saw me bet this team bet this exact game and take New Mexico a few weeks ago. Fell short. New Mexico came out flat in this game. I want to go into a few of the reasons why they lost that game and have lost both regular season games against Boise State, most recent one being on the road. In that game, New Mexico ran into foul trouble. Donovan Dent and JT Toppin, their two best players, found themselves off the floor a fair bit too much. And as well, they got kind of killed on the glass, especially offensive rebounding wise for Boise State. New Mexico is typically like a very good rebounding team, top 50 in offensive and defensive rebounding. So I expect them to shore that up there and make a point, of course, for Toppin and Dent to stay on the floor. Because when these two teams match up at full strength, I do think New Mexico is in a good position in this particular matchup. New Mexico's offense wants to score at the rim and on the interior with Toppin, especially Dent as well. They're a bottom 30 team in the country in three-point rate. They don't take a lot of threes. Boise State's a team that throughout the course of the season, despite their chops on the glass, have not defended the interior well. They're really struggling from the two-point defense perspective. Their opponents are shooting 52%. They're 257th in the country. So on paper, that doesn't match up well with New Mexico's offense. And as well, New Mexico is a team that can get to the free throw line. Toppin does that a bunch, Dent as well. And Boise State's in the bottom half of the country and being able to keep teams off of it. So I think the offense can be efficient in this game. Now, when you look at, this Boise State team in those two games, Max Rice is a guy that's been unconscious from three against New Mexico. He had 35 points in their first matchup of the season. New Mexico is typically a team that's really strong defending the three. They've done a great job doing that. Their opponents are shooting below 32%. They're top 70 in the country in three-point defense. So when it comes to Rice and Agbo, those are guys in this offense that's reliant on getting their points from the three-point line. And I do think you're going to see this team be a little bit better defending there in this game. With Dent handling the ball, this is a team that's very good on the margins for turnovers. Dent is a just terrific distributor. Again, this offense takes care of the ball and can force some turnovers on their own end. So I expect them to win that matchup there. And, Jalen House just don't play like a terrorist in this game, because I believe he was 0 of 9 from 3 against Boise State in that matchup a few weeks ago. If he is better, which he was against Air Force yet last night, I do think this team has a great shot at winning this game, and they need it here because they're on the bubble. If they win this game, there's a good chance they get in and get themselves into the NCAA tournament, which I would hate to see this team miss because I think they are completely capable of making some noise come tournament time. All right, those are 4 of my favorite plays in college basketball for Thursday. We'll be back again tomorrow with some more in what are just an awesome slate today, and should be another awesome slate tomorrow as we get into the thick of conference tournaments. And of course, Selection Sunday, we'll have our bracket predictions for you guys as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.